Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. My name is Grace Onichi Obodo. Thank you so much for stopping by. If you're a new subscriber or a new viewer, you're most welcome to this family. We're grateful to have you here. And if you're a returning viewer subscriber, thank you so much for always coming back to watch our videos. It really means a lot to us and we are grateful. Now, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the step-by-step process for applying for a Spanish student visa. Without wasting much of your time, let's get right into the video for today.
Welcome back. My name is Jude, and we are going straight to the business of today, which is step-by-step process on how to apply for the Spanish student visa. Okay, one of the first things you need to do after you have gotten your admission letter from your university is to do what we call the authentication of your documents. Authentication of your documents. You do this at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the Ministry of Education in Abuja, Nigeria. Please remember that we are talking about this based on our experience traveling from Nigeria to Spain and how we processed our visa in Nigeria. So whatever we are going to be saying, we're going to be saying it within the context of the Spanish embassy in Nigeria. So like I said earlier, the first step is the authentication of your document. If you're going for an undergraduate program, you have to authenticate your WAEC results. And then if you're going for a postgraduate studies, you have to authenticate your degree certificate and your degree transcript. Okay. At the Ministry of Education, you authenticate your educational credentials. Then, whereas when you go to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in Abuja, you authenticate your birth certificate or your attestation of age, whichever one you are using. You also authenticate your police clearance certificate that has fingerprint in it. You also authenticate your degree transcript as well as your degree certificate. Also remember that when you are doing this authentication, that your police character certificate expires after 90 days. So be sure to time yourself that you are ready to make your visa application and other applications before you start this process. Also remember that if you are living far from Abuja, you can actually contact some persons in Abuja or some agents to assist you in making this authentication process for just a token. Okay, so this is the first step you need to do.
Okay, the next step is to book for the legalization of your documents. Now, this is done via email, and the email is right there on your screen right now. So, what you do, how to book for this legalization, is that you have to send an email to this email address stating that you want to legalize your documents, and you let them know in that email the scheduled date of your resumption. Because when you tell them about this, it helps them to select a very good date for you that you can come for the legalization of your documents. Now, it is very important to note that your transcript has to be sent to the embassy by your university before the date of your legalization. Do everything possible to make sure that your transcript, you contact your university to send your transcript to the embassy. If you do not do this and you appear at the embassy on the day of your legalization, your academic document will not be legalized. So please do not make that mistake, because a lot of people make that mistake. Make sure your transcript arrives at the embassy either via email or via courier service straight from your university. Okay.
Okay, the next step is for you to do the legalization on the legalization day. The following are the documents that you need to be legalized. Number one, your authenticated degree certificate. You have already done that in Abuja. Your transcript, your birth certificate or attestation of age, your WAEC results if you are going for an undergraduate degree, your police clearance that has already been authenticated. Remember, these are the documents you authenticate, you legalize at the Spanish embassy. Also remember that on that day, try as much as possible to come early and come with cash, because they do not accept electronic transfer. So come with cash. As at last year, 2022, the cost for each page for legalization is 18,500 naira. So when you calculate all the pages of your document, your birth certificate, your degree results, your police clearance certificate, and then you multiply it by 18,500. I don't know the current amount as at the time you're watching this video. Okay, so you can actually inquire from them. Definitely, they will send it to you when they give you a legalization date. You will see the current amount there. Okay, so these are the documents you will have to legalize at the Spanish embassy. Now, after you have done your legalization, the legalization dates happens between Monday and Thursday. So on a Friday of every week, everyone who legalized their documents that week is expected to return back to the embassy to collect their legalized documents. Okay. So once you have done your legalization, even if you did it on a Thursday, just know that you will collect your legalized documents that same Friday. Even if you did it on a Monday, you will collect it Friday of that same week. Okay. Yeah, that's one thing you should know.
So the next step after your legalization process is to obtain a medical certificate. Now, please note that this medical certificate does not need to be authenticated, neither do you need to legalize it at the Spanish embassy. All you need to do is to translate the document into the Spanish language, which we'll talk about later. Now, note also that this document expires in 3 months, 90 days. So make sure that you've obtained your medical certificate when you're ready for your visa application, which is of course after your legalization process. Now, there is an important statement that must be in your medical certificate, and I'm going to read it out to you. So make sure that wherever you get the medical certificate from any hospital in Nigeria, it is accepted. Make sure that the doctor or whoever is issuing this medical certificate to you include the statement on your medical certificate. I read it. It states that the bearer of this certificate is not a carrier of any contagious disease dangerous to public health in accordance with international health rules of 2005. Make sure that this statement is in your medical certificate.
The next thing you need to do after you have obtained your medical certificate is for you to translate all your documents. All your documents that are not that are not in Spanish language must be translated. Okay. The following documents are to be translated. They include your medical certificate. You have to translate it. Okay. Your degree certificate, your degree transcript, or your WAEC if you're going for undergraduate program, your police clearance certificate with fingerprint. You have to translate it. You also have to translate your attestation of age or your birth certificate. Okay, I've mentioned it before. You also need to translate your bank statement if you are self-sponsored. And then if you have a scholarship, of course, the scholarship, I assume it has to be in the Spanish language. But if it is not in Spanish language, please, you have to translate it to the Spanish language. There are sworn translators for the Spanish embassy. You can see these sworn translators in their website, in the Spanish embassy website. And you can also ask them when you go for your legalization. They will also direct you on how to get these sworn translators. When you get them, you see their email address. You email them and tell them the number of documents you have. You can as well send your documents to them. They will give you a quotation on the cost of translating these documents to Spanish. Remember that you don't have to use any other translator outside their sworn translators. If you use a translator outside their sworn translators, your translated copies will not be accepted by the embassy. Okay, so stick with only their sworn translators. Okay, and then once you have translated this document, they will send it back to you. These translators will send it back to you via email. You print them and have them as colored hard copy that you will use for your visa application. The cost for this translation is usually less than 100 euros. Okay, less than, you can even get it as cheap as 50 euros. So don't be much scared about it. And another thing, you also have to translate your accommodation booking. If you have booked an accommodation where you're going to stay when you come to Spain and the document is not in Spanish, please make sure you also translate it to Spanish language.
The next step is to book an appointment for your visa application. And this appointment is also done via email. The email is right there on your screen. So what you have to do is to send them an email requesting for a date for your visa application submission. So now this email you're going to be sending to them should clearly indicate if the date you're seeking for is for a fresh visa application or if it's for the resubmission of additional documents. Okay. Then secondly, you need to mention in your email that you have done your legalization at the Spanish embassy. You have legalized all the required documents. They need to know this before giving you a date. Then thirdly, also remind them of the dates that you're going to be resuming. That's the dates, expected dates of your resumption. When you do this, it gives them a sense of urgency. When they see that you need to, apply for your visa on time, they give you a closer date to enable you submit your visa application.
The next step is applying for your visa on the day of your appointment. Okay, these are the information you need to know. Remember, like I said earlier, you don't need to legalize your medical certificate. You only need to translate it. Okay, so have that in mind. Just translate it.
Yeah.
Now, the documents you will need for submission of your visa application include your translated medical certificate, your birth certificate, of course, it's translated like others, or your attestation of age, your degree results, or your degree certificate, then your police clearance certificate with fingerprint. You also go with your admission letter. You also go with your scholarship award letter if you have a scholarship. If you are self-sponsored, you go with the bank statement. Remember that this your bank statement showing sufficient funds must be translated to Spanish. Okay. And then you also go with accommodation booking. If you have already gotten an accommodation in Spain where you'll be staying during your studies, you also submit the accommodation booking. Okay. Then also go with your passport photograph. And the passport photograph that is needed for the Spanish visa application has a dimension of 30 mm by 40 mm. Okay, white background. Okay, and then try as much as possible that your 2 ears are showing. If you tell any photographer, they will definitely do the needful. Okay. Also remember that you need to download the visa application form from their website, and we will try and put the website on the description section so you can download the form. You download the Spanish version and English version. You fill it up from the beginning to the end. So you also go with your passport. Please don't staple your passport photograph on the form. Just go with it. They will do the stapling at the embassy there. Okay. And then remember that they don't accept online transaction at the embassy.
Yeah.
They only accept cash. Remember that. Okay. And the visa fee as at last year, 2022, it was 37,100 naira per person, both for an adult and for a child. I don't know the current amount, so you have to inquire about that. And then once you are inside the embassy, it becomes very difficult for you to come outside. So make sure you go in with all the necessary documents for application. In less than 15 minutes, once it's your turn, you've submitted your application and you are out of the embassy. Okay?
Now you've submitted your visa application, congratulations, and you're wondering how long it's going to take for you to receive a response. I want you to relax and know that you're going to get a response from the embassy within 4 weeks. Okay, so you're going to get an email telling you to come and pick up your passport with your visa. And with that, you're good to go. You're good to begin preparing for your travel to Spain.
If you're a student and you intend to travel to Spain with your family, and then there is just some needed information you need to have. The extra documents you will need will be your marriage certificate, and then your spouse birth certificate, and your child or children's birth certificate. So during the student process that we mentioned earlier, wherever you see birth certificate, you include that of your spouse and that of your child, okay, or your children, as the case may be. Also, remember that the money involved for you to take care of your family there will have to be more than the money for one person. Okay. Basically, for an individual in Spain, it's about 580 euros per month. For the wife, it's roughly about 480 euro per month. For each child or a minor that you bring, it's roughly about 300 euros per month. So you calculate all this and multiply it by 12. Okay, these are the extra money you need to have in your account or in your proof of fund if you are self-sponsored. If you're a scholarship recipient, of course, you need to calculate your scholarship stipend as well as the deficit and know whether you need to augment the scholarship stipend to be able to take care of your family. So the process is quite similar. There is no much different. Remember, you need to also authenticate, legalize your marriage certificate.
Yes.
The additional thing there is that the Spanish embassy will definitely want to verify your marriage. Okay, so you pay a verification fee, a lawyer fee of about 150,000 naira at the Spanish embassy. So they will send a lawyer to go and verify your marriage at the place where the marriage was, where the marriage took place. Okay, so it's basically the process. But if you are not coming with your family, of course, you don't need this aspect of the information. Okay, you just go straight to what we discussed earlier. And I wish you the best as you continue your journey.
We have come to the end of this video. Thank you so much, guys, for watching to the end. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found value for your time. Please do well to like the video, share this video to your friends and loved ones who you think might be interested in content like this. And please, if you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, what are you waiting for? Please subscribe to our YouTube channel and join this beautiful family. We would be so glad to have you here with us. Also, if you have any comments or any questions, feel free to drop it in the comment section and we would always be there to answer every question that you put there. Until our next video, take care of yourself. Bye.